I ruined both my qualifying laps. With me deciding to hop on and do some races quite early in the morning, I wasn't fully prepared for qualifying, which in turn resulted in me invalidating both my banker and flying lap. This was pretty disappointing considering this was supposed to be my last push to 2K iRacing. With Spa being one of my best tracks and immediately feeling at home in the Cadillac GTP, the previous days had me competing at the front of my field, but for the first time that week, I would be starting at the very back of the grid.
Where do you think we finish? P1? Yeah, I think so too. We're just gonna go play bowling on T1. We're not gonna brake, and we're just gonna use everyone else to stop the car.
Going into the race, my only real option was to keep my head down and push as hard as I can. During all this, I'd also have to figure out my pit strategy on the fly. No matter how you looked at it, I had a pretty big hill to climb if I was going to get anywhere near a decent result, let alone not lose any iRacing.
Get ready, mate, it's hammer time. Green, green, green.
The start of the race went as expected. I didn't really shoot up the order like you'd hope, and a lock up into T1 immediately threw a spanner in the works, slightly increasing the gap to the cars ahead. Up the Camel, however, I did manage to make a few positions as the cars ahead got held up fighting for track position up Relion.
On your left. Still there. Hold your line. Hold your line. Still there. Hold your line. Hold your line. Clear left.
The guy in front is Ara.
Oh my, that wobble. Oh, that wobble.
On your right.
Making up positions through other people's mistakes was only going to get me so far, and at some point I'll have to pass on my own merit. And the closer I got to my own skill limit, I started to make small mistakes. Catching the next group of cars, I found myself stuck behind the Acura for a couple laps. They were visibly slower through the apex, but I just couldn't keep up when it came to acceleration. In a lot of the braking zones, I would close the gap going into the corner, and they would pull away out of it.
On your left. Hold your line.
What the
Clear
fuck,
left.
man?
Car left. Still there. Still there. Hold your line. Hold your line. Hold your line. Clear left.
With frustration slowly starting to set in, I made a mistake. I completely misjudged the Acura slowing down through Bruxelles, and I went into the back of them, spinning them around. Understandably, they were pretty upset. We ended up exchanging a couple messages after the race and ended on a more positive note. During that incident, a BMW that was following close behind got by, but it wasn't too long before they went wide into Stavlo 1, giving me an opening to get past, continuing my chase to the front of the field.
On your left. 3 wide. You're on the right. Clear left.
You cut the track. Keep it nice and tidy.
It was not long after that the ideal pit window would open, and with traffic building, it would be decision time for many other drivers. Do they pit early to save time avoiding traffic, or do they stay out to overcut and hope that traffic doesn't slow them down too much? For most drivers this race, it seemed like the former, with nearly half the grid opting to box early, temporarily putting me at a dizzying height of P3. I came in at the end of lap 14 for my scheduled pit stop, with the leader stretching another lap. I also decided to go a lot more aggressive on the fuel strategy, leaving only enough fuel to finish on the predicted lap. This is unlike my more conservative approach, where I'll take an extra lap of fuel as a safety net. Except in a race like this, I had to take risks. Coming out of the pits, I was P6 overall. I believe I gained 1 or 2 positions from the overcut, but it's really hard to tell. Either way, some positions are gained and I just had to keep pushing till the end of the race. Also, not having the momentum or the speed up towards Eau Rouge coming out of the pit stop, I just let the Porsche go by without a fight, managing to catch back up at the end of the lap, where I made a completely unintentional but an absolutely giga move into the bus stop. I was mostly going to show presence on the inside in hopes that they make a mistake, but they pretty much decided to just let me go, pushing me up to P5.
Oh my god, that send was not supposed to happen. Holy fuck my heart.
With P4 and P3 a few seconds up the road, a podium position looked possible, but just out of reach with how quickly I was running out of time. And just as I thought the gap might be a little too big, P4 made a mistake with me being right there to gain the position. Then, P3 also made a mistake with me once again being in the right place at the right time, putting me into the podium places. But I couldn't let my guard down just yet, with P4 quickly closing the gap behind. Coming out of the bus stop, I looked up at the flagman hoping to see the white flag. And just as I hoped, there it was. The final lap of the race. I just had to hold on for one more lap.
I get gifted with traffic here. Oh my god.
I got lucky with traffic up towards Eau Rouge, allowing me to get past the GT3s without slowing down, while the same GT3 cars held up P4, giving me a slight gap to breathe. While the initial traffic went in my favor, going into Stablo 1, I would get held up by more GT3 traffic, cutting my 1 second gap down to a mere 0.2. After a very nervous bus stop, hoping that they wouldn't do any crazy dive bombs that I wouldn't see, I came across a finish line in 3rd position, a mere 10th ahead of 4th.
Holy
1
P3.
race remaining. Well done. Great drive.
And it might have been the first time in that 24-minute race where I took a proper breath of air. Turns out being last in your favorite track isn't always a bad thing, but I definitely wouldn't be doing that again if I can avoid it.